What's going on, everybody? I wanted to make a little video to do a review over the new Super Mario Brothers movie because now I've seen the movie twice, and I think it's now I'm able to give a more in-depth kind of discussion and talk about the film. So the film has actually at the time of this recording grossed over 700 million, and it's only been out for 2 weeks, right? Like, that's very impressive. Um, as a kid who, as a guy who, as a kid, grew up with the Super Mario Brothers Super Show along with the video games, I think that this movie has a lot to give out to people because this movie could have easily been something that was a cash grab, right? And this does have moments in it, like its inclusion of pop songs, right? But I will say its inclusions of pop songs are, at the very least, they make sense in a way, right? Like a lot of the pop songs, like, okay, I will say that Take On Me being in this one scene of the Kong area, I will say that that was the like one of the few insert songs where I was like, any song could have really gone here. But I do appreciate the fact that the insert songs were all from the 80s, which is when the Super Mario Brothers craze like was at its max, right? And I think that it makes sense, right? Like, yeah, they did include insert songs and pop songs, but it makes the ones they used made sense, if only because they're from the same time period, right? Where Super Mario Brothers and Nintendo were kind of taking over the world, right? Um, I really have to say what everyone else has been saying. The voice cast was phenomenal. Of course, everybody. I don't think there's a single person out there who said one bad thing about Jack Black as Bowser. I think he's just great. Charlie Day as Luigi was awesome. He had that nervousness of the character down, confident nervousness, which is what Luigi is, right? He's very confidently nervous, if that makes sense, right? Um, Anna Taylor-Joy as Peach was great. She was fine. Seth Rogen has been getting a lot of stuff, a lot of crap lately from people who, because I guess he came out and he said because in the movie the voice of Donkey Kong is Seth Rogen, and he just does his regular voice. And he came out in an interview and said that he doesn't do voices; he just does his voice, which I get why a lot of people are mad at it, right? But when I found out that Seth Rogen was cast as Donkey Kong, I was so excited because I was excited to hear Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong, and that's exactly what I got. You know, I think he did. I think that the person who casted him kind of knew what they were doing and knew what they were going for, because I don't really know what kind of a voice Seth Rogen could have even done for Donkey Kong. Maybe made his voice a little deeper. I don't know. I don't know what he could have done for Donkey Kong, but I mean, what he did was just his regular voice, but I still thought it was great. Keegan-Michael Key as Toad was really, really good. In fact, he was the only actor in the film where I kept listening to Toad, like Toad would be on screen, and I kept hearing his voice, and I kept having to remind myself that it was Keegan-Michael Key. Like, he doesn't sound like him at all. And that's a good thing. He that means he gave a good performance, right? Where you couldn't tell the difference. I thought he was great. And then you have the big one, Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt as Mario. And I gotta say, you guys, I didn't have an issue with it. In fact, I was very impressed with what he did with it. Now, was it perfect? No. And in fact, my only probably my biggest complaint about Chris Pratt's voice of Mario is just, and this could also be the fault of the director. They didn't see this or didn't hear it. There is a little bit of Chris Pratt kind of going in and out of the Italian / New York accent, right? Doesn't mean it's bad, right? I mean, that happens a lot, right? Like, there's a lot of big Marvel properties out there where, characters like Scarlet Witch are going in and out of their accent, right? So, I mean, I don't really know what's going on with all that stuff, but for what Chris Pratt gave, I liked it. I was very impressed. I was really kind of happy with the performance that he gave, and I think that I kind of when they had that interview months and months and months ago, where they said that the producers love the voice, and they knew once they heard it that this is what we were going for, this is what we were going to settle on. I didn't know exactly what that meant, and now that I've seen the movie, I kind of am like, I get it, because the trailers didn't really do the voice justice, right? Because a lot of that does sound like just Chris Pratt's voice, but when you watch the movie, you don't hear that as much. It's really weird, because like when you hear the trailer and you listen to the voice, of course you're just going to tell yourself, oh, it just sounds like Chris Pratt. But then you watch the movie and it's just like, it doesn't sound like him much, right? I don't know, it's very, very hard to explain. Bottom line, I liked the voice. I thought it was good. Again, my only complaint is he just kind of went in and out from his accent every now and again, but for the most part, I thought it was great. Charles Martinet, the original voice of Mario, actually does appear in the film. He plays two characters. He plays this one character who's in the like little coffee shop or restaurant that they're in. He's actually playing Jumpman as Mario's commercial is on TV, and he says, "It was very a good commercial," whatever he said. I can say that because I'm Italian. What else did he do? He also played Mario's dad in the film, which I thought that was great as well. I thought he did very great as his dad. I always couldn't tell it was him. And in fact, me and my friends hypothesized that he was going to do that for a while. He was going to play his dad. We just weren't sure, but he did end up doing it. So I think he did a great job. Plot was another thing that I thought was like, this is not doing anything crazy. This movie's not doing anything crazy. This movie's not, trying to tell you a story you've never heard before. It's not trying to do anything that no other movie's done before, right? Story-wise, it's playing it very safe. It's basically the same plot as the Super Mario Brothers Super Show, right? They're plumbers. They end up getting sucked into a warp pipe and end up in the Mushroom Kingdom, and now they have to fight off Bowser, etc., 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 right? Like, the plot line is basically the exact same as the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. But, that said, this is a show made for kids, and as a kids movie, I thought it was fun. I thought it was very serviceable. And again, they did throw in a lot of Easter eggs, a lot of nudge, hint, hint at the adults that they knew were coming to come watch the film. Yeah, I thought it was great. Overall, I thought the Super Mario Brothers movie was great. I can't really gripe too much at it because it is just a kids movie, right? And for a kids movie, I thought it was fantastic. Yeah, I think that they hit every nut and nail on the head. Now, I do think that with a sequel, I think that they can start kind of trying to experiment a little bit more. Maybe not experiment a little bit more, but what's the word I'm thinking of? Try to dip your toe in the water with, like, doing something a little bit more not safe, because like I said, this movie was, again, a great movie, very safe plot wise, right? They could try something a little different. I don't know. We'll see what happens with sequels, but as far as this one is concerned, thought it was great. Definitely stay after the credits. They have 2 post-credit scenes. One's mid-credits and then one's after the end of the credits. Definitely stay for those. It does hint at a sequel. And yeah, what did you guys think of the Super Mario Brothers movie? Did you guys love it? Did you guys hate it? Go ahead and leave your comments down below. I try not to do any spoilers in this review, so try not to leave too many spoilers down there in the comments for those of the ones who haven't seen it yet. But yeah, leave your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think of the movie, and like always, I'll talk to you all later. Bye.